Let's have a round of applause for each one of us. Thank you so much. Can we really unmute ourselves and clap for each other? It's really amazing intro round. So let's
Absolutely.
get
Yes.
started. So yeah. So welcome once again. Welcome to another day of BA Agile Scrum. And today we are going to hit our day 4 of Agile Scrum. Before we get started, let us remind about why we have joined over here. So who can remind me that why we have started into training? What is the core intention behind it?
to finally get a job through
That's
IT field.
brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Benson. That's really true. That the core intent is to get started into IT. But since this is our one of the core intent, it is vital and necessary to protect our intent forever until at least we join into one IT sector a job. Okay, so how we are going to protect it? For that, we have something we call it as a code of honor, for which I generally request each one of us to abide by, and request each one of us to agree on this. So what all these code of honor are that protect our goal? That is, number one is showing up always live. So when, how do you do that, and why we need to show up live? So we have to show up live to practice three things. Okay, one, being on time, being punctual, and be highly committed. Why do we do that? Because what we it is one of the saying, how we do anything is how we do everything. Okay, so if you practice being on time over here and punctual over here and highly committed over here, the same thing you are going to deliver once you get placed, and when you are getting into any of the meeting, and you will be highly appreciated for that. So that's the number one core code of honor. Second one is being the full stack student. So when you are getting started towards getting players, the very first pillar of Guru School is the instructor led free training. And for that, when you are getting into a training, you need to be a student. And when you are getting a student, so whatever you are learning, that's just a drop in the ocean. And to maximize that learning, you need to do all the assignments, do the self research, and repeat what you have learned. The third one is the taking full responsibility of it. And why? Because when we win, we tend to celebrate and we give credit to ourselves for that. But why? Because we took some action. But when we don't take some action, obviously that leads to the failure, and we are really not ready to take the responsibility of that failure because we have not done it. And when we take the responsibility of success and failure, we stand to take some corrective action as well. And that's the reason it is highly encouraged for you to take the responsibility of both, not only for the success, because success has yield because you have done something. Failure would deal because you won't do something. And that's the reason there are some assignments given, so that you keep on checking and triggering to yourself that, hey, I am walking in the right direction, completing certain things, accomplishing certain things, and leading towards the success. The fourth one is having the mindset. I know that we are really highly skilled people already. We are working, we are serving somewhere. But again, attitude matters. Attitude is everything that comes through the mindset. And on this path, having a learning mindset, then positive mindset, and going complaint free and loading yourself with the gratitude is really a commendable thing. If you can do that, then you can succeed even in this path. And when you're doing this, I always request and encourage each one of you to start your day with the receptivity, increased receptivity. How do you do that? By listening to the strangest secret. For that, I have given audio to each one of you. If you don't have that, don't hesitate to ask me and listen to this audio at least once. However, it is recommended to listen to it thrice in a day. But yeah, even once in a day to start with will do, for 30 days. And this is one of the yardstick to check whether how much positive in a day you are. So second one, is the element of this fifth one, is the golden quadrant of learning. So any learning, we are going to get started with the declaration, and then we learn, and then we draw, and then we summarize. This is the thing which I was I think explaining to Sushan, I guess. Yeah, so we are getting into learning, but before we start learning, we need to declare now. Okay, so are we ready for the declaration? Are we ready? Yeah, I'm going to tell how to declare. So, hello everyone. Everyone is listening to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, declare. How we are going to declare? So, at the count of three, we are going to give a self high five, that is a clap, and then we repeat the highlighted word on the screen. So, are we ready now again? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
one, two, three, and go. I am a quick
I'm a
learner.
quick learner.
What
What others
others
can
can
learn
learn and
and
master,
master, I
I
I
can
too
too
can do
can
that.
do
too
that.
can do.
So once again, you need to declare this at the count of three.
Right.
Okay, one, two, three, and clap. Because I am an awesome
Because
learner,
I'm an awesome learner,
Because I'm an
today's
awesome
learning
learner,
is going to be
today's
a
learning is
super
going to be
duper easy
today's
to
super
me.
learning
duper
is going to be
easy to
super
me.
duper easy to me.
Yes. Do you know why it is going to be super duper easy for you?
Because I agree.
Yeah, because you agree. And when you are agreeing to this, be a giver on the path of learning that makes you more spiritually grounded. And when you are spiritually grounded, at least add an intent to do charity. If you are already earning something, giving away 5% of 10% will make you grow really, really manyfold. Because when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you may survive. So start giving with the intent to grow, and not only with the intent to grow, but also to inspire others. And when you are doing this, appreciate what you are doing, and appreciate what others do for you, and also what doesn't happen to you, what you have planned, because every single step is preparing for the next step. And it is said that what you appreciate, that appreciates you. So these are the six code of honor. If you remember and if you agree to this, that will yield the result towards the success. So I would request you to put your right palm on your chest and say, I agree to code of honor.
I agree to code of honor.
I agree to code of honor.
Thank you.
I agree to code of honor.
Thank you. Thank you. So I appreciate that. Let's get into the slides. So far, what we have learned. So far, we have learned about the Scrum values. I believe even if you are joining for the first time, you have gone through the videos. We have learned the Scrum framework. How does it look like? We also learned the Agile principle, Agile values. And today we are getting into benefits of Scrum. So yesterday, what did we see? We saw values of a Scrum was courage, focus, commitment, respect, and openness. Do we need to repeat this, or you remember that we have gone through this?
No, I remember.
Okay, thank you, Benson, for acknowledging that. Let's move towards benefits of Scrum. So benefits of Scrum is the 4-1 is listed over here. Can you see the screen, by the way, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the very first one is increase the quality of deliverables. So as we have talked multiple times, it's about iterative delivery. It is increased delivery. It is the incremental delivery. But is only delivery everything? No. Even in any sector of the business, we need to focus on the quality, and we have to increase the quality of every single deliverable. Okay, it could be your software, it could be your document, it could be any instruction. Anything that comes under the deliverable has to be highly qualitative, means standard, means it should meet certain quality gate. Okay, even for quality gate there is a quality gate document. Okay, so second one is cope better with the change and expect the changes. So it is very beautiful line, I would say, because expecting the change will add the revenue to every single person involved in the project. Okay, so whenever change comes in, always welcome that, because the moment you think of and you hear of change, that is adding revenue, that is adding to the new work in your project. Okay, so this is the one of the benefit, that you easily cope with the ongoing changes. You can adopt it, you can easily accommodate that, and you can easily deliver that in the next sprint is the time duration. And then third one is the provide better estimates while spending less time creating them. Okay, every time the small chunk when comes in, and you just deliver the small pieces always, so it is easy for you to estimate those work in less time, and then you can deliver them also in less time. So that is another benefit. And the fourth one is be more in control of the project schedule and the state. Okay, project state varies from various amber and green, and then so every color is uh, every color denotes the state of the project, whether it is in progress, whether it is just started or yet to start, or it is getting over. Okay, so that comes with the colors like green or amber or red or something like that. So that's all benefits of Scrum. But there, when we were talking about benefits of Scrum, there is a benefits of Agile as well. So we will look at it. So I would request Prerna ji to take over in her style, because I know she is going to involve each one of you. So yeah, Prerna ji, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for a wonderful start. And again, a warm welcome to Mehul and all of you for this superb session. We really appreciate your involvement and dedication in all the sessions. We've been seeing that you're putting in efforts, writing notes. So we'll encourage that with every session, as Gaurav has mentioned. Please write your own personal notes. Those things really go in a long way. And we also encourage you to write some keywords which we mention while in the sessions. So those are really like bonus points for you when you're preparing or when you're talking to someone from IT, or in future when you'll be planning for your interviews. So just a note that have your pen and pencil ready with you, preferably a notebook, and then whenever you feel like that point is important, please jot it down. Many a times we do mention the same. So yes, going back to benefits of Agile. So when we talk about Agile, it has multiple benefits, and the benefits are applicable for all, not only to the IT company or the organization or the development team, but along with that, it is to the customer, to the development team, obviously, and to the Scrum Master himself. Do not worry about the new terminologies coming in. We will discuss all of them in the upcoming sessions. Right now, just go with the flow, try to understand what it is, and then along the way you will understand what is a Scrum Master, and what is the duties, because we have dedicated sessions for that in coming up weeks. So starting with the customer, what does customer benefit from Agile? So basically, for a customer, it is a very good approach, because his requests are being responded. As in, whenever I ask for some change as a customer, when I asked that I want this functionality, or I want my website to look like this, I want to have incorporate this software, work on that, all these requirements, no matter how tiny or how huge they are, if they are under the criterias of cost and timing, those are accepted and those are worked upon. So the customer gets the sense of the team being responsive towards his requirements, and that's a great feeling for him, or the client company, wherein they know that all their requests are being answered to, are being worked upon, and that really gives a great sense of satisfaction to the customer, wherein they realize that okay, their asks are being answered, they are being attended. Second, high value features. That means all the features or requirements that they've been asked for, they are delivered in a very better quality, and with high value. When I say high value means the requirements that are being developed by the development team or the organizations are of really good quality, with respect to features, with respect to timings, with respect to their inputs, everything. So the customer feels that, feels and even receives this benefit of agile, wherein all his demands are taken care of in a very better way. There is no lack of quality or assurance. Everything is being taken care of in a very good manner. Let it be with the timings, whenever they ask any requirement, within sprints, within timelines, that is delivered with a proper presentation, and he is able to give the feedback. So all this process of agile makes customer feel important, and they even give them the sense of achievement from this point of view, that whatever they are asking or whatever their requirements are, those are being addressed. And trust me, in IT, in all this happening in a shorter period of time, like say a 2 week sprint or a 4 week sprint, that really is a very great sense of bonding between the customer and the development team, or the development organization, right? So that is very, it's a very win-win situation where both the parties are involved and they are being productive and they are helping each other, and it is ultimately ending in a very good collaboration. And yes, last but not the least, this point we have really kind of explained in earlier sessions also, and it is easy to understand that delivered more quickly with short cycle. Yes. So what happens in sprints is, we have smaller time duration, we have smaller cycles, and in that cycle, for example, we have a sprint of 2 weeks, 14 days, and we have around 10 work items to be worked upon, and those are delivered. So imagine that the work span or the time span is so small. Generally there are projects which go up to like 6 months, 1 year, and more than that, because those are complex, and their working style is different. But in agile, we ensure that everything is taken care of, because there is a clarity of requirement, there is a clarity of what customer wants, and the team is highly skilled and highly motivated, and they are the best in their work from the industry. So all these factors of agile are really beneficial to the customer and ultimately for the overall delivery, making it a win-win situation for the customer as well as the development team, right? So these are one of the very few benefits to the customer, along with satisfaction, timely delivery, understanding between development team, and easy and quick response. So these are like the crux, which are the main point which you need to highlight and remember. So anybody has any doubts on this benefits to customer?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. If you have any kind of doubts or queries, please feel free to ask in between, Please
Yeah,
stop me
I
and
have
you can ask. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. I have a question. High value features. Can you please repeat that one?
Okay. So when I say high value features means, as we said, that agile comprises of very skilled resources. Okay, everybody is like an expert in their field. So what happens, for example, if a customer asks for a feature, say they are like working on we are working on on a website, and they are like, okay, the website needs to load in a very fast manner. Okay, so what happens when we have very skilled and expert resources? They know the best of software, they can work on anything, from the database or the front end, and their delivery is so good that whatever the customer is asking, that is provided in a much better way. I To simplify this, there are some, like when you type in Google, tell me in how many fraction of seconds the page loads, right?
Mhm.
Anybody types Google, google.com on internet, it loads in within no time.
Very
But there
quickly,
are
yes.
there are some websites who load as in the time they the page take to load, and to have that information. And there are some websites now I really can't name because nowadays there are many websites which are pretty fast, but old websites or sometimes the government websites or educational websites, they are pretty slow because they have a lot of content and the page loads very slow. The information is fetched very slow on the screen. So these kind of things I'm saying when I say high value features. Okay. And these features, Sushna, right? Sushna asked this question, right? So these
Yes.
features are dependent on the customer. They can ask for any type of features. They can ask for some functionality, some click events. Or when I click, I need this report. When I want these many videos to upload, anything. So that is again customer specific. But the bottom line is whatever the customer asks, it is delivered in a very effective manner. So the customer is happy and satisfied. Am I clear, Suchana?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Moving back to the next point, that is benefits to the development team. Okay. So we've already shared that this team is they're the experts in their field and they are highly motivated and they work in a great collaborative manner. So the benefits to the teams are they enjoy development work. Okay, so when I say enjoy means they really first of all they're highly motivated people and they are the skilled ones in their work. So they enjoy this time in development work because they know what are the requirements are. There is clarity of their what they are going to work on. So no, there is a very clear state of mind because they know what are the requirements are. They know the timelines. They know their responsibilities and they're really looking forward to work on that, to deliver that. And then they're very much aware that the kind of satisfaction the customer would get because they've been working in agile. So all these things are very very encouraging for a developer, for a development team. When you know that your work is getting valued, when you know that your work is getting appreciated or your inputs are being valued, that really gives a great sense of I would say satisfaction to everybody and anybody. When you in personal life also, when you know that your work is being valued, when you contribute something and everybody appreciates that, or you can, when you see that it is being valued, it feels so great. So same way a development team feels very happy and they enjoy their work because they know that their work is being valued, it is giving value to the customer, they are able to deliver on time. So all these things are like the satisfaction factors and enjoyment factors for development teams. And I even covered the second point, their work is valued and used. So everybody is contributing and that is being delivered to the customer in a timely manner and that is being really valued and kind of appreciated by the customer as well. And reduced non-productive work. Now remember, this is a very important point. When I say reduced non-productive work means there are situations, or there are in earlier times what used to happen when we used to follow the typical waterfall method wherein everything used to go, everything used to go one by one in a flowing manner. So what used to happen many a times, there used to be a lot of time when there was no clarity on the functionality, or things were non-decisive, like what functionality, how the functionality to be work to it should work, and how the website or application should look. So many a times a lot of time used to go in non-productive work, like waiting for the response from the customer, or just kind of working on something that is non-concrete. So all this is kind of avoided, or that is not part of agile, because as we have mentioned earlier, in agile your requirements are freezed, your freezed as in whatever requirements are given by the customer, those are foolproof. We are aware that this is their want, unless there is any other change or addition that is considered after consulting with your senior management, your scrum master, your product owner. But apart from that, whatever requirements we have, all kind of requirements we have from the customer, those are confirmed, those are foolproof. So the amount of time that is involved into delivering that is really productive. So there is no wastage of time. Everybody knows that their work is gonna be uh, you know uh, kind of addressed to, and they know that whatever development team is aware that what they're working on is gonna be delivered, and that is what the customer asks. So you feel so good when you know that what you're working on is gonna be delivered, it is being valued, it is being addressed. So the sense of achievement as a team, as a person, as an individual you get is tremendous. Because uh, you know that you are an expert or you're working on this, but as well as the customer values that, the organization values that. So it's such a great feeling for a team to have. That is tremendous when we feel being part of something very big, or and able to contribute to a general cause, like giving delivering to the customer. All these things, these may sound theoretical to you now, but when in organization, in real industry, these are very important factors from the success point of view, from the development team success, their growth, and as well as to the delivery to the customer. So try to understand, try to keep yourself in the shoes of development team. Try to understand if as a development team member, as a developer, as a tester, as a lead, as a business analyst, how would I feel when my work is being valued or when my contribution is being valued? Okay, so these things are very important from development team's point of view. Anybody has any doubts in this?
No.
No, it's fine.
Okay, thank you so much. It's actually kind of self-explanatory, and the best part to understand anything is try to think from their point of view. This is what I personally follow, is like, okay, if I am a development team member, if I'm a customer, how would I feel when I'm in this situation? This gives us a lot of clarity when we think from this point of view. Now, this is from Scrum Master, what kind of advantages he has. So, planning, task level tracking in daily meetings. So, Agile allows you to have this kind of management in your work, that every, like when I mentioned, if you have an sprint of 15 days and if you have 10 tasks, so those tasks will be, deliver those tasks will be assigned to the every group member, every team member, as per their expertise and as per their qualities. So that planning, that I would say, freedom of planning is given to the Scrum Master, and it is a very good way of work, because he knows what activity or what work is given to whom, and who will be delivering that. So all that gives a sense of clarity, that everybody knows what they want to work on, and that really helps towards the faster and better delivery. When you know what you have to work on, you have the clarity to work on it, and you know when to deliver. So it's really good. There is no confusion, and there is a very smoother way of delivery, if you have to, because everybody knows what they have to work on, and Scrum Master is aligned with the team. They know who is working on what. So it's very important. Tremendous awareness of project state and status, definitely. So Scrum Master knows what is happening, where, which team member is working on what, in which sprint, what we are delivering. So basically, there is transparency, right? He knows, because first of all, he only allocates the work, so he knows what everybody is working on, and with every delivery, with each sprint, with every month, or fortnight, he's aware where we are going and how much we are delivering. So the project status is definitely known to him. Okay, we are on track, we are not on track, we've delivered this certain requirement, we are working on the other requirement. So all these things he's taken care of, and there is a visibility. So so at any point of time, he's aware in where are we in this project. Okay, the last point, and the important one, is catching and addressing issues quickly. Okay, This is very essential in agile environment because it's a very fast paced development process. Everything is happening on a very fast level. When we have a timeline of 2 to 3 weeks or 4 weeks, trust me, it's a very short period of time compared to the projects which are for a longer period of time, like in years or months. So in this scenario, if somebody is stuck, if some development team has any issue with respect to, say, software in operating system, or any particular language issue, or anything, any issue, understanding, or a technical side, the scrum master, as he is one of the most approachable person in the team along with your team members, he is able to address and resolve those issues quite quickly. We'll come to the other features of agile, but then one of the main feature and one of the important ones which I personally like is having stand-up meetings daily. We'll come to an elaborate discussion on that, but just to give a peek into it, because we have daily stand-up meetings and everybody shares their work details in a brief, a scrum master is very much aware of what individual person is working on, and if they have any issues, those are being mentioned at that time, so the scrum master knows that what kind of issues he needs to handle, and that is being addressed as in it might not be resolved at that time, but at least he knows what the team is working on, and what issues they are facing at moment. So I know this isn't in Krask, but it is very important, and it is kind of hitting on the head point. So all these points you are very much welcome to note down in your notebook, or in your notes, because these are the go-to points when someone asks you what are the benefits of agile. So these are the go-to points which you can explain to them and share them your knowledge on agile. Okay, so anybody has any doubts on this scrum master part? They have any queries on this, or we are good to go to the next slide?
Good
Yeah,
to go.
next
Okay.
slide.
Yes, okay, thank you so much.
Do you want me to take this, Prerna?
Yeah, I'll just sip water and then
Yeah,
then
sure,
we can
please.
continue.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
thank
Yeah.
you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Prerna, for just talking benefits of Agile for development team and customers and Scrum Master. Now let's understand about the vendor. So it says the very first point, focus development of high value features. Let me ask you this question. Okay, if you as an uh, stakeholder, or you as a customer, you are demanding something, you have ordered something, it could be anything. Think as a customer, when we are delivering you something, what would you appreciate? The high value feature, or just things which will just do work for you, so you will also appreciate that, but something which comes with the high value feature, won't you appreciate that more? What is your answer?
Yes.
Yes, in the similar manner, the vendor are supposed to give and focus on delivering and developing those product or those services which are really high into the values. Okay, and that keeps on adding the value. When we are talking about the value, and when I have asked this question, there is a bigger purpose behind that. Once you will get placed in the corporate of America into IT especially, it's not only about doing a job, but also adding value to the job for which you have been selected, for which you have been recruited. It's not only going, sitting, and filling the timesheet and coming back to your home. You are not getting paid, or you won't be get paid for that. But if you will continue to add value for what the work you have been given for, trust me, you are going to grow much more faster than others, in terms of when it comes to taking responsibility or towards the position. Okay, so it's all about adding the value wherever you are working, as a vendor or as an employee as well. Here vendor was just an example. Okay, So that's number one. Second one is the increased efficiency. So when we are talking about efficiency, we always look for doing more in less, and this is something the world is talking today. Okay, the world is seeking this, that if you can deliver more in less time, then you are high in demand. Okay, and if you could do that, everyone would love to get services from you. And if everyone would love to get the services from you, it means in every single project you are demanded, and there is a no time when you will find yourself sitting on bench or doing nothing. So that's why this is one of the benefit of the agile. You will find that efficiency become the auto norms for the team. Okay, and everyone is pointing towards the efficiency and towards the efficient work. Okay, so that's the another benefit of agile that happens by its own, because you work in high spirited team, highly motivated team. Okay, the third one is the reducing wastage and decreased overhead. Every time when we start a project, or when we start a small chunk of the project, okay, before that we look back that whatever we have worked and whatever we are going to get started with, are we really reducing the extra technical dates or extra things which are really unnecessary or not even needed? Can we discard them from the list? Because that mindset comes automatically, because you become the part of that meeting, which we call it as a sprint planning meeting. We are going to talk about it more in detail. What is it all about? We will be looking into it in coming days for sure. But for now, just understand these 3 pointers for vendor. Now, let's understand for a product owner point of view, how it is benefited, agile is benefited. So development work aligns with the customer needs. Okay, and if you are someone who are positioned at decision making edge, okay, your interaction goes very frequent with the customer. Whatever you are about to deliver or whatever you are going to make change in, for that you are always in touch with customer, and you always seek feedback from them. Okay, and accordingly, based on the feedback and based on the changes incorporated after the feedback, when you deliver the product towards to the customer, you find yourself in the alignment very much closer to the customer. So let me ask you this question: have you ever interacted with the customer directly, any kind of a customer?
Yes, I have in real estate.
In real estate you have. What about others, Nirupma or Benson or Suchana?
Yeah,
Well,
my job.
Yeah, of course, Nirupma, for Nirupma it would be yes, because she has also got set of students which are which could be a client for them. The same can go with even for Benson, Benson into the
Yes.
hospitality industry, and same goes with the Suchana. Why Suchana? Because even if you think that I am a homemaker, you are persuading someone to consume something. If you have got some family member in your home, they are into rush towards the school or office or something, and you are also in rush to complete some another work or transition into some another work. Every time you are persuading something for to someone, it means the other person to whom you are persuading for something, that is the customer, and you are another stakeholder. Do you agree with this? So this is how you are always customer facing. Does could you relate with this, Suchana?
yes.
Okay, thank you so much for responding. The second one is frequent opportunities to reprioritize work. Okay, so yeah, that's a very interesting one. So every time we start with a sprint, and we will be also looking at the sprint soon. So every sprint is the opportunity for you, where you can prioritize your work, and you can deliver whatever you feel like. So So you feel like, and accordingly you can adjust your work, accordingly you can deliver your work. And the third point for product owner, this benefit brings brought by Agile, is maximum delivery of value. So there are chances customer may feel overwhelmed if you are continuously surprising her with a lot of value added into the deliverables. Say for example, if customer has asked for a glass, I'm just giving in a layman language this example, and you are the company who manufactures um, this what special kind of steel glass. Say for example, very beautiful steel glass you manufacture and you give it to customer. You have not been asked to add handle to it, okay, and one small beautiful art you present, and you add one handle to it. How beautiful it would look like, how delicate it would look like, and how much appreciation you would get from the customer, because no one has thought about it. When we think about it, it just become a cup, but still you are justifying with the shape and with the order, and still you are adding a small value to it. That is just adding the handle makes the very different feeling to the customer who are holding that. And this is how you are just adding the value. This is one of the example. Okay, so and in every sprint and every chunk of the bigger project, if you are doing it, you are yourself finding that you are quite fulfilling. You will find this fulfillment in yourself, for you, for the team, and for the entire project. So this is how another benefit, and thereby it boosts up your own confidence. Okay, so this is about product owner. Now PMOs and C-level executive. So entire PMO who are responsible for the decision making, and under whom the different projects are there. So for PMOs, high visibility of daily project development is necessary, and that's what they get to see by using the burn down chart. We can talk about burn down chart or burn up chart in coming days, when we will look at the another tool. We will also call another tool of Atlassian Jira. So we will be looking at it. So where you will get the entire visibility of the project, how it is running, okay, in which state it is, okay. And if this kind of visibility is given to PMOs, they are easily able to take the corrective action or directive action, so that your project movement will continue towards the accomplishment and go hassle free. So that's the another benefit of Agile, okay, for PMOs and C-level executive. The another one is adjust strategies based on hard information. So like we are talking about soft information or hard information, even through verbal communication, they keep on having the feedback and incorporation of those feedback through their team, and through the PMOs, or through the product owners, or through the entire team. Okay, so that there is a core intent behind that, is that they may get the repeat order or repeat projects, even for new projects from those clients. So this is a very important factor, that it gives you flexibility to work on your strategies again and again for every single sprint and even every single project. And the third one is the plan effectively with less speculation. So yeah, so planning effectively is the another important factor, and today there are different tools for that even available. So if you remember, we have talked about AMS project or even Smartsheet when we were talking about the projects. So those have made available for the PMOs and C-level executive, even for product owners, and that easily gives you the visibility to adjust your timeline and adjust your productivity and delivery. So that's why these are the benefits of Agile. So far, we have looked for PMOs, product owner, vendor, customer, and development team, and also for Scrum Master. For every single person, this is very, very, very important. So I believe in the past we have looked at Agile manifesto and principle. Have we looked at Agile principles earlier? Do we remember this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we have looked at it. Let me pull the another slide for you to get started. Okay, just give me a second. I'm pulling the another flip chart, opening it up. So meanwhile, you can ask us any question if you have, because we have seen benefits of Agile for all these six positions. Any question? Nirupma, Suchana, Benson, Mike, or even
No
whoever.
questions.
Okay, fine. Just give me a second. Yeah. So I'm bringing the another one. Another.
Gaurav, I just wanted to add something here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So try to understand, guys, when we talk about agile is beneficial for all. Right now we mentioned from from executives to PMOs to Scrum masters to development team, to customer primarily. So try to understand when we're learning agile why it is being valued so much, or why it is being practiced by the industry so much, because it is overall beneficial to everybody who is a part of that process. Okay, so it has given this opportunity for everybody, every team member, everybody, every stakeholder. Stakeholder we will discuss in upcoming sessions, but try to know the importance of this agile process. That is why it is being incorporated so well and so highly in the market today. Okay, because people have realized its value and it is beneficial to all. We have seen all these stakeholders, they have some or the other greater benefits. So when someone asks you in an interview per se, or in any discussions, why agile, so you, the first line has to be, or it can be like, it is beneficial to all, to every stakeholder which are involved, right? So I'll just request you to revisit this part again once this session is done, because it's very important and it is like the basis of your understanding of agile. When we've already learned the values and principles, but those are from a very standardized point of view. But when we talk about benefits, understand these are from uh, every individual point of view. So that gives you a lot more clarity. Yes, Gaurav.
Yeah. So I would like you all to once again visit the Agile principle and Agile values, and even Scrum values for that matter. So what is going to happen, because once you will learn them, you will master them, you will be able to implement them at the workplace as well. So when we have yesterday talked about the Scrum, we have understood the framework, how it slides from the slice. Okay, when we are talking about the slice, it means the slices are nothing but, imagine your project as a bread loaf. I always give this example. Okay, bread loaf is a bigger project. Okay, it cannot be consumed at once, okay, by the small child. So what do you do? So let me allow Archita. So what do? You do one thing, okay? You cut it in small slices, okay? And then it is easy to serve and it is easy to consume. Do you agree with this? A big loaf of the bread can be easily delivered in the small slices, okay, in the thinner slices, easily to the consumer, as in it could be the small child. If he wants to eat bread and jam, you can not give him or her the entire bread loaf, but of course two slices from that loaf along with the jam. Do you agree with this? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In the similar manner, This example comes from for the Scrum framework. A project is a set of requirement, and that set of requirement has to be handled by three roles. Okay, and when we are talking about these three roles, but how they will consume that requirement, they will prioritize it. They will pick the thinnest or highly say for example, let me go back to this bread example once again. Say for example, this loaf has amazing taste, and it has got tutti frutti onto that, okay, some cherries onto that. And when you are serving, your child will say that still there is a slice of tutti frutti and much more ingredients of that is there. Pick that up and give it to me. I will consume that first, and then gradually I will consume the another one. Okay, so you agree with this, and as a team, you and the child, excuse me, just give me a second. Yeah, so I was talking about as a child, and you as a father and mother, three became a team, and you three decided, okay, the child as a customer has to consume this tutti frutti piece of the slice first, and you decide to deliver that to him for first, and that becomes your high priority task. Okay, in the similar fashion, some requirement, some piece of requirement could be the high priority task, and in a one meeting you decide, hey, we need to pick this XYZ requirement and then ABC requirement, and it has to be delivered together in the first sprint. So who all three member will be in this part? So one is called as a product owner, another one is called as a scrum master, another set of team is called a role is called as a development team. So entirely as a whole, the product owner, scrum master, and development team are called as a scrum team. What they are called as?
Scrum team.
Exactly. They are
Scrum.
called as a Scrum team. And the moment we talk about development team, you can see in this picture, there is not one head, there are three different heads. So three different heads, they indicate the three different roles. This could be business analyst role, this could be real coder role, this could be real tester role, this could be test architect role, this could be development architect role, this could be development manager role, this could be test lead role. N number of role are the part of this development team. So the moment when we talk about development team in Scrum or Agile, it is not the one who just code, but it is the one who also analyze the business, who also test the business, who also manage the team, who also lead a team. So do you understand when we talk about development team, just don't get confused by a coder who codes, who writes a piece of codes or lines of the codes. So those are the part of development team. In fact, the entire person, entire member who are supporting to a project, they become the part of development team. So is it clear for every one of you who we
Yes.
call it development team in Agile or Scrum? Yeah. So
Yes.
when we
Yeah.
talk about development team, just don't get confused that it is about the coder or developer. Okay. So that's the one. So the beauty of this development team is that they creates done increments. Okay, it means uh, they manage their work by themselves. Okay, no one is there to guide them, or no such requirement of manager is there who would say that, hey, you need to do this. They are self-organized team. Okay, they pick their own work, they know their work, and they take the responsibility of completing that. And from there the leadership comes into the picture, from there the focus come into the picture, from there the courage comes into the picture, commitment comes into the picture, and these are the Scrum values we have seen while ago. Okay, the Scrum master manage the Scrum process, remove impediment. It may happen that instead of the scrum master role is that this development team will continue to focus on the work. Okay. Excuse me. This team will continue to focus on the work, but someone may come and they may ask you some settlement in the work or some injection into the work. So injection in the work, when I say it, what does it mean? It means that other team member or other project manager may take some help of some doing different activity, and the time gets distributed from your development team member. And that's the reason excuse me, that's the reason Scrum master's job is to make sure every single impediment coming on the way towards the work in progress thing, they need to be prevented from appearing. Okay. And that's the job of Scrum master. He makes sure that all such impediments are removed. So you are clear with the only job with the Scrum master. When we talk about, he is a servant leader, and his job is to remove the impediments for the Scrum team, for the development team. And the topmost, which you look over here, is the product owner. He manages the product backlog, optimizes value of the product. When we are talking about the backlog, it's not about the pending work, it's about the to-do list. To-do list means the all set of the requirement. I'm talking about the bread loaf. The bread loaf is the set of the slices, or group of the slices. That is the group of the requirement, and this group of the requirement and complete requirement is called as the product backlog. Okay. So when product backlog is before the execution or before the planning, it is called product backlog. And the moment it gets into or become the part of the planning, it becomes the sprint backlog. Okay. So this is how it is. Now we are getting into some interesting fact, and we are moving towards the details of these roles. Okay. So today also we will try to touch about the stakeholders, but let's get into the details of this Scrum role and its briefing. Okay. So what you see here, one is product owner, one is Scrum master, one is Scrum team, and this one, he is standing just out of this window. He's a special person, and we will be talking about him as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Gaurav, would you like me to take this?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yeah, please sip some water as you've been coughing. Yes. Okay, so I'll just request Mehul, as he is today, new person joining in, just to make him, to know our process of how we have the sessions. Mehul, would you just like to read out the session, the details of product owner, please?
Product owner, yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Conveys the vision of the stakeholders to the team, can alter the scope, responsible for the return on investment. That is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm, not only with the team, but also communicates with the stakeholders about progress and problems.
Thank you so much. So product owner, right? You rightly mentioned all the points defining a product owner or giving details about their role. So he is the one who conveys the vision of stakeholders to the entire team. Okay. So when we talk about a vision, that means what is our ultimate common goal to be achieved by, working on this project, that he's the one who communicates that to all the stakeholders. I had already mentioned that we will learn about stakeholders in detail, but as of now, just to understand this, point, I'll just mention stakeholders are people, are teams, whoever has stakes or has interest in this project. Okay, so they can be everything and anybody and everybody, starting with your development team, your management, your customers, your internal teams, your third party vendors who are working on this project. So everybody who has a interest in this project, those are your stakeholders. So a product owner's important, one of the important task or role is to mention and to share the vision of this project with them. Second, he can alter the scope. Now, remember, this is one of the most important responsibility and the important, role he can play, and he is the only one who generally does this. That is altering the scope. When I say altering the scope, means customer comes with some responsibilities and many, comes with some requirements, and many a times those requirements are not practical. Okay, so in my words, I generally say that the customer wants the stars and the moon, so because their reality check at times it's not proper, because they do not know what kind of technology we use, and what kind of features we can incorporate. So there's already always some reality check involved, like these features we can develop within this time, or these we cannot. So all that things said and done, only the product owner can alter the scope, means he can have a yes or no say in this, with stating that okay, we can deliver this in this sprint or this month, and we cannot work on this in this month, or this can be done or this cannot be done. I know this sounds very easy when we say it, but when we talk to the customer, it is a very important thing to be shared. Okay, and it is, and then this has to comes from a authoritative person. So product owner being, on amongst the top in the hierarchy, as seniority, as responsibility goes, as far as responsibility goes. So he has this important role, as well as as the authority to alter the scope, which is very essential. I know this might not sound that important now, but in practical world, when you're working on a project in industry, in a company, this is a very important role a person can play. Okay, so they can alter, they can change, they can negotiate with the customer, which is very important in many a times. Okay, now, responsible for the return on investment, that is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm. Yeah. So this means that they are the one who is responsible to gain what is the outcome, or what is the output, or what is the investment we are supposed to get the return of from this project. That means it can be in the form of money. For example, if we are working on a project and that is going to give the company a very good amount of return in form of money, or in form of expansion of their business, in form of acquiring new customers, and or in form of kind of exploring new markets, kind of venturing into new customer base. So everything, whatever we are trying to achieve from this project, he is the one who knows what is the return on investment. That is, what are we going to achieve from delivering this project, along with the funds, along with the profits, along with the being customer happy, what all are the benefits we have. So he is the one who needs to track that, or he is the one who keeps a close eye on that, and he's the one responsible to achieve that. And last but not the least, not only with the team, but he communicates with all the stakeholders of the progress and the problems, regarding the progress and the problems. So yes, he is the one person who is in communication with everybody. As I told you, he has a lot of responsibility and a lot of authority. Along with that, he is the one who communicates with all. Let it be with your development team, your senior management in the organization, the customers, the stakeholders, the investors, everybody. So so please remember, product owner has highest authority, sorry, as well as he has the highest reach. If we have to talk, he is reachable, and he reaches out to everybody involved in the project. And he has really a very, I would say, cool and important role to play, because he takes a lot of good decisions. Rather, he has to make some good decisions on that the course of your project, or your agile methodology or work depends on. So that's why we have this dashing picture of him, like, as it's not based on any gender, but then just to have the visual understanding, we got this person standing, like, standing tall and being there for the team. So that's we have the product owner. Anybody has any doubts in this understanding, please feel free to ask. We good? Everybody understood product manager, product owner, sorry.
Yes.
That's really nice. See, going forward, when we discuss more, we'll understand more about their role. But these are some of the important points which we all need to know. So that's these are the ones to start with. Then coming back to our very own, very important again role, that is a Scrum Master. So we discussed this earlier, that Scrum Master. Okay, I'll just like to read out. Anyone to read out this? What about Nirupama? Will you please read out this Scrum Master part, please?
Yeah, sure, Prerna. Scrum Master
Mhm.
removes all impediments and hindrance to achieve goals, enforce to organize Scrum ceremonies and processes,
Right.
to commit to goals and deadlines on behalf of the team.
Okay, rightly said. So if you remember, we've already discussed the first part wherein he works closely with the team to remove any kind of impediments, hindrance, any issues, any blockages, to guide them with respect to per se development part, understanding part, communication part. So he wears many hats. He's there for the team for each and every kind of issues or problems or blockages, if I have to, roadblocks, if I have to call it, right? So he's one of the very important person within the team and as well as to the customer for the overall process. Then yes, we will learn Scrum ceremonies in detail, but just to mention a few, we have Scrum review, we have daily meetings, we have presentation to the customer. So all these ceremonies, he is the one who conducts, and he is the one who is responsible for setting up a date, a location, or in case it's an online meeting in situation like current scenarios. So to ensure that everybody is available to check their calendars, to organize this meeting, to have everybody on board, to uh, conduct and to enable everybody to get this message and to pass it on. So all these things may sound very simple as of now, but these are very important, because in Scrum every ceremony is very important, starting with your project initiation meeting, your kickoff meeting, your discussions, your reviews, your retrospective event. Everything is very important. Don't worry, everything will come in near sessions, and we will share in detail. Right now, just try to understand his role and what kind of importance he holds. And last but not the least, to commit to goals and deadlines on behalf of the team. Yes. So he is like the middleman between the development team and the product owner. As we understand, product owner has a lot of responsibilities and his reach is quite vast. So he may or may not be available in day-to-day work with the development team, because he's already busy with senior management, with customers, with other decision-making processes. So he directly connects more often with the Scrum Master to know where we are, as far as development is concerned, as far as the delivery is concerned. So yes, from every point of view, from development team point of view, from customer point of view, from product owner point of view, Scrum Master is very important, because he is kind of the one who is connecting the dots for all of them. He's the one who is connecting all of them, ensuring the flow of information, ensuring the flow of status, to know where we are, to share the updated status, updated knowledge, updated know how where we are as far as delivery is concerned. So that is why Scrum Master is again a very important role. He's also called as servant leader. We'll come to that later, because he's the one who is a leader, but he's always working on so many things. So that's a cliche, but then that's the beauty of this role, because you get to know everything in and out, and it really gives you a great sense of responsibility and as well as satisfaction as far as work is concerned. So yes, any doubts on this particular role? It's a very important role, guys. Try to understand. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. No, everybody understood Scrum Master role. I'm so happy. But okay, taking it this on a positive note, going ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Suchana, will you like to read out a few, or rather, first 2 points, because it's a bigger session. Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah. Scrum team
Yes, thank you.
does all that lead them towards their sprint goal.
Mm-hmm.
Work Scrum Master to prioritize the items from the product backlog in the sprint planning.
Okay. What about Benson? Remaining points, please.
Not Scrum Master. Not Scrum Master organizes them. It is a self-organized.
Mm-hmm.
Need to attend every stand-up and other ceremonies. They have to participate in all the meetings despite their nature and have to ensure that all the findings of the meetings are getting practically addressed in the project.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So I understand when I say by Scrum team, it is also called as development teams. Many a times they go hand in hand, these words. So this team comprises of everybody who are involved in the project, like developers, testers, business analysts, technical architect, SMEs, subject matter experts, anybody and everybody who is contributing to this project, designers, everybody. So these people definitely work towards their sprint goals. They have to ensure that whatever delivery that was promised in that particular sprint is being delivered. Yes, that's one. Second, they work with a Scrum Master to prioritize the items for the product backlog in the sprint planning. Okay. So I know these are many new words: sprint planning, product backlog, and all this. Don't worry, we will explain them in upcoming sessions. So just to simplify this understanding, this means they work closely with Scrum Master to prioritize the things that have to be worked upon in this current sprint. Okay. So in the current month or in the current fortnight, which all activities, which all functionalities we have to develop on and work on, they sit and discuss with the Scrum Master in the ceremonies, and their inputs are valued and taken considered, and then decided upon. Okay. And on this discussion, and on top of this discussion and understanding, then the product owner does alter or does negotiation about the deliverables with the customer. So you see, everybody is linked, everybody is interconnected, everybody's role and responsibilities are interconnected with each other. They are very much what I would say, supportive to each other, in work wise also, and role wise also. So yes, Scrum Master organizes them. So the teams are very self-organized, if I have to call them. It's not that Scrum Master have to organize or tell them what to do. They are all self-motivated and experts in their field, so they know what they have to work on. And need to, yes, the Scrum Master, Scrum team or the development team have to have, rather, they have to attend each and every ceremony. It is not mandatory for product owner, just for your note, because he has a lot more responsibilities, though he's present in most of the major ceremonies. But things like stand-up meetings, daily meetings, for them, development team, because they're working on these requirements, they are mandatory, whereas product owner is not mandatory in daily meetings, because he might have some other important other his work related responsibilities at that time. But then every team member, every development team member, Scrum team members is required mandatorily to attend the Scrum meetings and other ceremonies. And this they kind of are mandatory part of every meeting. Doesn't matter what kind of meeting it's, related to their sprint, they are present in that meeting. And these meetings are very important and beneficial to them, because they kind of raise their concerns, if any, they address, they are they mention their issues, and they are being addressed majorly by Scrum Master, or at times product owner, in this kind of ceremonies or meetings. So that's why these meetings are not actually add-on work to them. This is basically an opportunity for the Scrum team to come up and to share their issues or problems, and also getting them addressed. So these are the opportunities for them to share their statuses and share their issues any. So it's really a good platform for them, and that's why it's kind of mandatory for them to attend the same. Okay, so this is a brief about our super interesting and super talented Scrum team, their roles and their understanding. So anybody has any doubts in this, please feel free to ask. Yes, Archita, you have any doubts? Mehul, Nirupama, Benson, Suchana, anybody?
No.
Please feel
I
free
have
to ask. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a doubt. So in the beginning, when we were discussing about the product owner, when the first
Mm-hmm.
point came in, like the conveys the vision of the stakeholders to the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you explained that stakeholder would be anybody or anyone who has any interest on the current project.
Right.
And and then again, when we were discussing about the Scrum team, you said that any person who is working towards that, goal, they are
Mm-hmm.
all a part of the Scrum team. So I want to know, like, is there any difference between the stakeholder and the Scrum team?
Yes. Rather a very good question. I've already mentioned a stakeholder as the word just plainly states anybody having or holding a stake in that particular project. So those are the stakeholders. So stakeholders are many. Development team as a team is one of the stakeholders because they are directly working in this project, and their performance, their deliverables are directly linked to the customer satisfaction or delivery. Along with that, imagine your customer, he or she or the particular organization is also a stakeholder because their requirements are being worked upon, their project is being developed, so he's also a stakeholder. Then imagine any third party agent, like for example, you have development teams, so many a times we use any third party software, any third party application. So all that third party application team or that a particular company, that is also a stakeholder because they are also providing their application, their softwares for this project. Then again, your senior management who is involved in this project, your directors, your executive directors, we just learned in earlier slides. So because they are also directly linked to this project, so they are also the stakeholders. So everybody who is involved in this project is a stakeholder, and that being said, that development team being a part of this, also Scrum team being a part of this project, they are also a stakeholders. They are also a stakeholder, one of the stakeholders. Okay, so stakeholders means everybody that is from the customer, from senior management, your Scrum team, product owner, Scrum master, anybody, anyone from other teams who was involved in this project, they are also the stakeholders, right? So am I clear, Nirupama? When I
Yeah.
say
So Scrum
yes,
team is a part of the bigger,
absolutely
assembly of
right,
the stakeholder,
absolutely right.
right?
So if
Okay.
I have to give you one of my favorite examples that mostly related to the food. So example, you have a party at your home and you have given your food to the caterers. Okay, so the caterers can be called as the Scrum team because they're directly working on the delivery. They're working on your food items. But then if you have to know your stakeholders in this particular party, then definitely the guest, then definitely you being the host, then anybody, the decorators, the pandal creators, or anybody who is involved, the people providing some, what do you say, items to the party, the decorative items or the furniture, they are also stakeholders. So anybody and everybody who is involved in the particular project, now our project is having or organizing the party, okay, they are the stakeholders. So in the stakeholders, per se, your this people who are providing the food, those are the Scrum team. So like that, there's many parts to being the stakeholders. There are many people involved, and Scrum team being directly involved in the development process, one of the crucial ones. Okay, are we good on this?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
just have one more question, if I
Yeah,
may.
sure.
So in the picture, you've put the product owner and the Scrum master as individual people. So usually are they, just one product owner and then there is one Scrum master and then there is a big team? Just a random question I
Yes, Yes. So majorly, yes, it's like that. It depends on the complexity of project, but generally these are one people because it gives a lot of clarity of whom to reach out, who's the decision maker. So yes, we majorly have one product owner because see what happens, they are kind of dedicated to that project. So many a times a scrum master is a dedicated person for a particular project, but in bigger organizations, product owners might have more than one project or products,
Mhm.
but then yes, they are the one person to reach out, and then we have multiple people in scrum teams, right, like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. So we could discuss more on that. That's why we really encourage and appreciate to have this such kind of discussions or your queries. Thank you so much. Yes. So yes, Gaurav,
Yeah, so
I just
before
wanted to,
I move ahead towards
yeah,
this person, this in the picture, we are going to
yeah,
discuss, and we have started discussing over here only. So I would like to add something. So as rightly explained by Prerna and asked by Nirupma, the question about the product owner. So understand this is all about one project. So one project will be held by one product owner, one scrum master, and will be executed by the set of scrum team. In one scrum team there should not be more than minimum 3 or maximum 8 people. So minimum 3 is the fundamental, you must remember. In coming days we are going to look at the team size as well. However, when we are talking about this person appearing in the gray area, he wears multiple hat, he comes from various background, and that is the reason the person is a stakeholder. Because when I am talking about this person, he's also part of this, he is also part from customer end, and that's why means we are talking who all are involved and who have all have got the stake into the project is called as stakeholder. Okay, so he is also from customer end, including the sponsors as well. Okay, becomes the part of stakeholder. So Prerna, if you don't mind, I can take this slide. Yeah.
yes, definitely. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So the very first one is this: the stakeholder has to keep a healthy relationship with the product owner in order to share every detail regarding his project. As I was telling previously only about the product owner, how crucial it is to receive the feedback, give the feedback in terms of what the changes are happening and what all the changes have been requested are now responded upon. Okay, and that's why every stakeholder, including sponsors, has to be in touch with the product owner. And for that, the more they are in touch, the more healthy relationship evolves, and the more chances of getting multiple projects are for sure to increase. Okay, so that's the very first pointer for the stakeholder. The second one, the stakeholder is responsible for conveying his wishes and concerns to the product owner, or else the product owner would not be responsible for his project quality and time and duration. Okay, so understand this point very very well, because it doesn't mean that a project team has got a project and it means they will do everything by their own. It also requires multiple occurrence of the feedback from the customer and also from the sponsors, whether it is meeting their requirement or the changed requirement, or something has to be changed in the next coming cycle of the delivery. And if together they agree on this, they agree on tweaking, or they are agreeing to adapting the changes. And that is the point here. It is said that is not only product owners alone's responsibility, it is equally important to take the responsibility. Responsibility should be taken by sponsors as well as from client, because it is the sponsor sometime indicate to the client that, hey, because we are sponsoring, we require this thing to happen in the project. But sometime through the liaison within the team, we agree sometime to continue a few things, and we agree to sometime to disagree upon. So that's the another one. The third one, The stakeholder has to provide regular input to queries from the product owner. That's very, very important. Before, along with product owner, there is a development team or Scrum team is working, and they always come up with the various questions. Like in between such kind of session, we come across with the various questions, and those requires to be answered before we move further. Okay. And it should not happen like we are in the sprint 1 and we are receiving some answer in the sprint 2. So always there should be a daily liaison, and for that matter of the fact, daily scrums are there inside the team and also with the stakeholder on site sometime, and that is the time when some questions are answered, and also through email communication those questions are set to be answered. Or we have the project management tool like Jira, Atlassian Jira, or Trello, or Monday.com, or various different tool which is used by client along with the vendors, and there they continue to chat, or they continue to comment on one requirement, and that's where and that's how the questions are answered then and there. Okay. And that gives the support to the delivery, that gives the support to decision happen towards the delivery of the project or the piece of the project. The another one is uh, prioritizing the work effectively with the product owner is another job that the stakeholder has to do to ensure his project development. So let me repeat, this prioritizing the work effectively with the product owner is another job that the stakeholder has to do. So it's not alone product owner's responsibility, and he cannot totally assume that this piece of work has to be prioritized at the higher ranking, and then we have to deliver. Of course, that has to be the liaison has to be done along with the sponsors, client, vendors, and also considering the strength of the team, what they are capable of, and how the capability is just what we are receiving as a part of value of for money, and what they are paying in fact to the vendor to hire the means highly skilled individuals in the team. And based on that means that shows the capacity of the client, and based on that whatever the priority has been taken up at the higher ranking, that will be delivered accordingly. Okay. So always this priority will not be only the responsibility of the product owner at the first place, it has together as a team has to be agreed upon. Okay. And the last one, keep taking updates or keep giving updates regarding any change in the plan. Even if you are on track, what you are going to do, you are going to communicate that to the stakeholders. Okay. Because they have some stake into the project, right? Stake could be in terms of time, energy, and money. Okay. If these things are there in the project involved, then it is your genuine responsibility who runs the project as a product owner, that you are liaising about these all things to the entire stakeholder team, including the client, including the sponsors as well. We don't have to forget, although this is the responsibility of the client, that they will respond or they will inform to sponsors. But however, whenever if you get the access and you identify this is the really crucial and critical information and should be conveyed to sponsor as well, you anytime as a product owner tend to communicate that. Okay. So that's how this is the one of the key role of stakeholder, not only from the stakeholder point of view, also there are few points which I talked from vendor point of view, because stakeholder is the one point of communication, and also from product owner point of view. So are we clear on the stakeholder? Everyone, Nirupma, Archita, and Suchana, and Benson, and Mike, and everyone else, Nikhil. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for this.
Thank
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now we were talking about Scrum ceremonies, and here we also call it as a Scrum events. Okay. So can quickly randomly one person like Benson, can
Gaurav,
you?
I was just thinking, I just a thought. I mean, today we have shared a lot of stuff. How about having this in the next session? I mean, we can check with others if they're okay to go ahead, then we can.
Yeah, I'm okay with anyways, but yeah, it should not be every time information overload. Let's
Yes,
use a sprint format only. Let's consume it in a bite by bite by bite. Yeah.
yes, absolutely right. Yes.
So are we good to take a pause over here and then continue in the next session? And that's why I call it as it varies from 6 weeks plans to 8 weeks plan. It depends upon our digestion
Absolutely,
as well.
because we really want them to understand, because today we have learned
Exactly.
about the roles and in detail and about the benefits. So this is again a Scrum events is a very detailed and a long thing which
Exactly.
I really want to have a fresh a start. So they all kind of capture it well.
And
Okay.
this is totally fun part. Okay, learning is a fun
Absolutely,
part and
absolutely.
getting into it also fun part. We don't only want you to learn it, we want this to be experienced by you. Yeah.
So do you have to remember all the theories before doing the like the
What kind of theory? This question is
like the
from Suchana or Archita?
yeah, this is Suchna.
Okay, yeah, Suchana. So what theory do you want to remember?
Like the thing we for last 3 classes, whatever we learn, do we have to remember or just understand everything?
So, see, the more you will remember, the more easy it would be. You remember the very first thing I talk about, golden quadrant of learning. And for that, I always request you to start the learning with the declaration and then go ahead and draw whatever you have learned. So when
Mhm.
you will draw that, you will retain some percentage of information into your memory. And when you summarize that, and how do you summarize that? Just like Archita did fabulously in last session. Okay, she just published one small video of a minute. Okay, she explained us what we explained to you. So even if you follow that, you don't even need to take a load of remembering that, because that will get remembered by you automatically. And that's the science we want you to adopt. Okay, when you continue to do that, you will see that even means learning is really not rocket science. You can learn anything if you follow this golden quadrant of learning. Okay, so yes, in case you think that you needed to learn that, go back and once again listen to the recording, come back and draw, and then quickly explain us. Okay, looking into the camera, record it, send it to us, and you will be surprised to know that you will remember each and everything.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
thanks.
So give it a try, give it a shot, and you can just teach this technique to anyone in your family who is learning something new. And there is much more deeper things behind it. So gradually you will come to know that how any vast subject even you can learn in 3 days and master in 7 days. Okay, so those things you will be ready to learn once you will practice this small things which I have shared with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so I want once again emphasize on this, that complete this golden quadrant of learning. We have done with the declaration, we have done with the learning, and we want the drawing on a piece of paper. Whatever you have learned, whatever you remember, just go ahead and draw it, and then show that piece of paper into the camera, hit the recording button for a minute, and summarize what is the meaning behind the drawing you have drawn on the piece of paper. And you will be surprised to know how great memory you have. Okay, and that prepares you to crack any interview. And today, when we are pausing again, we want to remind you, this is the Sunday. I want you to on Monday publish one summary of Friday. Then on Tuesday, attend the RRRP session, that is a ready resume preparation, where you optimize your LinkedIn profile, where you get ready for interview preparation, where your resume get prepared. And then On Wednesday, you can summarize today's session. Again, on Thursday, you need to repeat this session. What do you call? You need to repeat this RRP session. Again, on Friday, you need to show up with us. Saturday, you can simply take rest. And Sunday, again, you need to show up on this session. So that's how your entire 7 days plan is given to you. So are
What
you...
time, excuse me, so what time on Tuesday?
So Tuesday is now 8:45. We have just shifted the time, 8:45. Yeah.
So every week.
No. So it's a Friday night, and it's a Friday night, and it's a Sunday night for you, especially for Be Agile Scrum. Tuesday and Thursday is 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. EST. Day2 keeps on giving us the message that when it is going to get started, but ideally it is 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, on Tuesday and Thursday for RRP session. I hope I answered.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. So I want you to remember this. I want you to complete the golden quadrant of learning. So are we good for this? Are we set to say yes about it?
Gaurav,
Yes.
if I may, I just have one question. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to disturb the flow, though I didn't ask it before. So
Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
with respect to the benefits of Scrum slide that we were talking about,
Mhm.
where you said there is the incremental quality deliverables, and then, be able to accept changes. And then there was a third point, which was about providing better estimates with less time. I quite didn't understand that line at all.
Okay.
So,
So, Nirupma, what exactly happens when we work in a Scrum fashion? No, in a Scrum, we have been giving you the example of what do you call? We have been giving you the example of bread loaf. So, what happens once we prioritize the work? Okay, one small piece we have to work upon. Say, for example, Prerna ji has also explained about the sprint being the 15 days of task. Okay. So after 15 days, what? We have the next sprint running in. Okay. So for next sprint, we plan that on what activities we work now. So when we plan, we choose the set of requirement. When we choose the set of requirement, we need to estimate that how long a team will take to code about that requirement, how long a team will take to test that requirement once it is coded and designed, and can we accommodate much more requirements. Say, for example, there are hundreds of requirements. In the sprint one, we addressed 5 requirements. In sprint 2, now we are working and planning and trying to estimate. So we can estimate quicker because we are picking small set of requirement, right? So this is how it is. Like in a very less time, you don't need to estimate the entire project, all the requirement at once. You need to estimate every single requirement piece by piece by piece by piece, and that's when it sets everything on ease. Yeah.
okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, so my question was, so do we agree to send our understanding that what we have understood? And that is going to be yardstick. And second, we need to get agree to start our day with the strangest secret for the audio I have given to you. Okay, every single day that will keep on pumping you with the high level of positivity. That is what the agile industry need today. Okay, so do you commit to do so? Can we have some yeses from you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. So on this note, I think we have come to the end of this session. And because I was talking to Nirupma, let me ask Nirupma, what do you feel like saying about today's session in one word or one sentence?
Well, right now it did feel a little intense, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could you learn something anew?
Yes. Yes, a lot.
New learning. Thank you so much. Nirupma, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Mehul, if you would like to go
Mehul.
next.
Yes. What do you feel like saying, sir?
Yeah, very interesting session today. Learned a lot. I always take pictures of the slides and go through them next day morning to recap. And I think it helps me understanding it better that way.
Amazing. Call out someone's name, Mehul, on the screen, please.
Suchana?
Suchana, what do you feel like saying, Suchana?
Yeah, now I can understand what is a scrum. Before it was really very hard for me to understand.
Okay. Understanding is the key word for you. Thank you, Suchana. Call out someone's name on the screen, Suchana.
Um, who else? Nirupama is done.
Yeah, she is done.
Okay, Archita.
Archita, I know that you joined a little late today, but yeah, whatever you have
Yes.
understood, what do you feel like
Actually,
saying?
today I missed lots of things,
Yeah.
and it's my bad. I don't know how I think about it. It's 8:45, but mine was 7:45. So, yeah. So I need to go through all the slides and listen again. So, but
But
yeah, I just
what
understand about the role of Scrum Master. Yes.
roles you have understood? Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Archita. Call out someone's name on the screen. You see
Benson.
Benson, what do you feel like saying, sir?
One word to summarize, I would say timeliness.
Timeliness.
That's what comes up
Okay.
with all this learning at the moment.
Thank you. Follow someone's name on the screen. You see, Benson?
Visuni, Prerna.
Yeah.
Miss Prerna.
Yes, thank you so much, Benson. So first of all,
Thank you.
a superb session where we learned a lot about Agile today, and I really like the way you all have been involved in this process. And Archita, do not worry, though you are late. Please go through this video again. And as you know, we are just a message or a call away. Feel free to contact us or message us if you have any doubts after going through the videos. And this is for all. But then I really encourage you to rewatch these videos, because a lot of more understanding is gained when we, again visit these videos. And I really like the way Mehul said that he takes pictures and he, looks at them again, or, he tries to understand that again or in the next day. So Mehul, kudos to you. That's a very good approach to keep revising, because the memory is pretty fresh for the next 24 hours. When we revisit something, it kind of gets gets a complete in a certain way to memorize it, to understand better. So nice, it's a really nice approach. I'll encourage others to follow. And overall, it's a wonderful session. I really enjoyed it. And over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you so much. So, because I know that we have some activity and some action items to do, I want you to repeat a few statements after me at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and repeat after me. What I see, I forget.
What I see, I forget.
I see, I forget.
What I do, I remember.
What I do, I remember.
I remember.
What I explain, that retains forever.
What
What
I
I explain, that retains
Wait,
forever.
I retain forever.
So remember this. This is one message for each one of us. You need to explain what you have understood. Okay, with this note, I just wanted to say good night and thank you, and enjoy your rest of evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye and good night. See you again.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night,
you all.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. See you next week. Bye.